Ramirez.
Hold on, I'm coming.
There are moments when they do things that are incomprehensible to me. And that in the beginning here, and that's one of them. It's like, why is this even here? Why is this quick time event kind of thing here? It doesn't need to be here. It makes the scene worse. I think it's a case of where they had a mechanic that they wanted to show off, which is the crawling bit, I think, using the triggers to do things contextually. And I think it just doesn't work. And they put it there just to showcase that feature, even though it makes the story worse. Which is, you know, that's not the best way to do game development. You know, everything that happens that you do, that you show the player happening, should somehow further the story or make it better, and not make it worse. It's freaking music, man. But this whole scene is just insane. There goes the water tower. I still don't think that's symbolic of something that they're going to do between Cloud and Tifa.
Please be okay.
You're destroying the place at which they made that promise. They're showing it being destroyed. That's got to be a metaphorical symbolism of something that's going to happen. And Ramirez down here. Now this is, if you know, like I was saying back with the demo, if you know, you know. I'm going to actually say what I meant there. Again, huge spoilers. Right now, Cloud is looking at himself. That is Cloud right there. And we are, again, Zack at this moment. So Cloud is sitting right there. Cloud is seeing himself sitting right there, knowing that that's him, but his psyche thinks that he is Zack. That he's the main character of this part of the story. So he's seeing himself from himself, while not being himself. It's a mindfuck. So here's the question then. Did Zack... Now here's some real mindfuck stuff, right? I'm actually walking towards the door, even though I'm trying to walk away from it. Yeah, no matter what I'm doing, I'm walking towards the door here. That's interesting. Like, the game is forcing you to go forward. Here's the real mindfuck, though, right? If Zack, you know, since Zack is the character where Cloud's like pretending or portraying himself as, did Zack actually come to this place? Did he go to Tifa's house? No. That stuff didn't actually happen. That is Cloud fabricating things in his mind to make this sequence make sense to him. So the question then becomes, though, in this part, does this actually happen? Does Zack actually try to open this door, and does he essentially kill Cloud's mother by causing this what's this? I looked it up, then I forgot it again. Essentially, it's like when you open a door of a building that's on fire, you shouldn't do that, because what happens when you do that is you let air in, and when that happens, it causes an explosion, basically, because the fire just essentially tries to rush out of that door you've opened to where there's more oxygen. Which is why you should never open a door in a burning building if you think there's fire behind it, and there's not fire where you're at, because the fire will travel explosively into the room where there's more oxygen, because that's what it requires to continue burning. A blast back, a flash burn, something like that. But that's essentially what it is. Does Zack cause that to happen? Does this actually even happen at all? You know? Questions that have never really been answered, that might get answered in this game. Because they're going to fully explore, I think, in the next one, rather. They're going to fully explore the rebuilding of Cloud's version of these events. The actual ones that happened from his perspective.
Run away.
See, I think this is Cloud's
To leave.
actual memories here.
I have to live.
I think this is his actual memories here. So I think that
Hey!
flashback thing didn't happen.
Hang in there! You're gonna be okay!
The flash burn, blast back, whatever.
Come on, let's get you up.
Now this is wild. The last bit of this sequence is wild, as they just take Sephiroth so far further down. And the audio helps tremendously with that. And then here we come to the one. This should not have been a thing. Cloud should just kept on going, right? Like, Cloud should be going forward on his own right now. We shouldn't have to do this. But they wanted to show off this mechanic. And then, like, right here, Sephiroth should just walked forward and killed these guys. Shite. Battery's low. Instead, now we're waiting for Cloud to get to the point where he can do the double trigger press, right? To continue. And it just makes the pacing of the scene so ridiculously stupid. Like, they would have been shooting by now. Or Sephiroth would have killed them by now, let's put it that way. Now, I know why they're not shooting, because they don't want to... They are in shock that a war hero of Sephiroth's stature would do this. And they don't want to shoot him because they still view him as a war hero and they're conflicted about killing him. But at the same time, you would think that they would either shoot or run by now. Seeing two or three of their buddies just sliced up like that. They could have just done this whole sequence a little bit better right here. But everything else about it is insane. Especially this moment, like literal decapitation. A facial animation. That's that was in-engine, by the way. That was like not CGI or anything like that. That was the actual model being able to do that. They had to have come up with some new rigging technology because I don't think that's theoretically it maybe was possible, but like not without incurring a lot of cost potentially.
Sephiroth!
Yeah, go from, oh, it's just a picture to this particular scene. It's like, was it really just a picture, Cloud? Was it really? And past this point, we are into the actual game because this is where the demo ended. So again, up until this point, you could say, oh, it's still fake. But if once it continues past here, we are now in an actual game. We are in...
I followed Sephiroth all the way back.
Yeah, this is the part. There probably won't be too much here. Probably no real gameplay. But there was still a little bit more to go.
Dad had gone there to hide.
So now I'm going to shut up and stop talking over this. This is new.
Sephiroth showed up. Dad decided that he was going to confront him.
Yeah, it didn't go very well.
Dad. It was Sephiroth, wasn't it? He did this, didn't he? Sephiroth. Soldiers. Mako. Shinra. I'm sick of this. I'm sick of all of this!
Tifa with Sephiroth's sword. Another iconic moment. God, the Jenova theme.
I have come for you.
Yeah, there it is.
Now,
The
open
techno
the
bit of
way
it.
for me.
Harmonies and
You
such.
murdered my dad. You burned my village.
2 fingers. It's like, oh, you're gonna use my own sword against me? I don't think so. God. Yep, that happened. So is it like from shoulder to... No, so they toned down that a bit. Because I think in the original game she gets like almost cut in half, basically. From like her top left shoulder down to her hip or something like that. It's like a massive cut. Okay, that's quite a bit of blood.
You promised you'd save me. If I was ever trapped or in trouble.
Interesting. I remember from Tifa's perspective, Cloud was not here. So he didn't keep his promise from her perspective. Of course, Cloud sees it differently. So he thinks that he failed to save her. I mean, in actuality, he did fail to save her, but not in the same way.
Here I am, your son. Mother,
The Jenova statue.
together we will reclaim our world. And I know exactly how we can do that. The Promised Land.
Yeah, it's pretty accurate to what it was in the game.
Sephiroth!
Mother, they have come again. The ones who robbed you of the planet. Your planet. But there's no need to be sad, Mother.
So he's gonna rip it
Because
down
I'm
like before.
here for you. Now and forever.
Oh, cool. It even has like the goop leaking out of it, like it did in the original. So what does Jenova actually look like? You haven't really seen her fully. Damn. Oh no, she's hot.
You killed my mom.
Oh, well, they changed the head plating.
You
In the
killed
original
Tifa.
game, the head plating actually
My
had like
village.
Square Enix
My home.
copyright stuff on it. Now it's just like a date.
They were mine by right.
Yeah, and this is when
Planet too. For I have been chosen.
this is when Sephiroth fully kind of just loses it,
I believed in you.
like completely loses it, and
Not
believes
you.
that he's an ancient.
Whoever the hell you are!
So what are they going to show here? There's the big question. Are they going to show what happens in the original game, or are they going to cut away from it? Interesting.
And that's the last thing I remember.
Interesting.
The rest is a blank.
The hell it is? What happened?
Barret.
It was all over the news. I remember watching it with my mom. They said he went missing during a training exercise. But then, the story changed. A couple days later, they started reporting that he was killed in action. Yeah, that was it.
The news outlets are nothing but Shinra mouthpieces spewing propaganda. Only dumbasses believe that shit.
Question. Does that make me a dumbass?
I didn't say that. What I meant was,
Nice.
screw Shinra for manipulating honest folks.
Barret's like, God damn it.
It doesn't matter what they said back then. Sephiroth was in Midgar. We fought him. Whatever happened, he's alive.
To know about alive.
Or is
so
he?
much
Dun dun dun.
around?
Yeah, it's a more accurate description.
But why come back now? After 5 years, doing who knows what?
Interesting.
Because he wants to finish what he started. He wants to reclaim his birthright and rule over the planet.
I wonder what that was about.
Jenova at his side.
That was weird.
After 5 years? Not to sound like a broken record, but it's really bothering me.
Well, what's bothering me is all this Jenova stuff.
Hmm. Is there any subtext to that?
Excuse me. Guess the travel or something really did a number on my back. Feels as stiff as a board.
Let me take a look.
What the hell?
You weren't kidding, were you? Let's get you back to the room.
Yeah, let's just call it a night.
They're doing some interesting stuff between Aerith and Tifa in this game so far.
So how about we
Series.
get to rest?
Because the original, there was never really a like huge connection between them, I don't think.
Oh no, you don't. That bed's
That bed is his, Barret.
Dreams.
See you tomorrow.
Red called dibs and was like, frack you, dude. Taking this bed. Barret.
Hey, Aerith? You
Interesting, there's more to this now.
Barely. Why?
Was wondering, what's Cloud been doing these past 5 years? Where's he been?
And you're asking me this?
Just had a feeling you'd know.
Interesting.
Probably did at one point. All that stuff was taken from me, though.
Hmm?
Or
Nani?
maybe erased?
By whispers?
Interesting.
Yeah.
I have thoughts. We'll talk about that in a second.
Maybe that's why.
Why what?
This is gonna sound crazy, but as far as I know, Cloud was never in Nibelheim 5 years ago.
There it is. So now they're like, how does Cloud know what happened? Okay, that is really interesting.
Cloud, you up?
Oh, we have control. Okay. That whole scene right there was really interesting. So, if you remember back in Rebirth, if you see Aerith, and I think it was stupid that the developers made that scene optional, you could miss it based on what she did throughout the game. Aerith's scene with Cloud at her house, when was it? It was like, it's the evening before... I'm trying to remember when it is in the game, in terms of the chronology of the game. But there's like a scene where you can have either Tifa or Aerith show up at evening at Aerith's house for at some point. And it's based on the way you've interacted with them throughout the game. And I think also the quests you completed or something like that. But you can essentially get either Tifa, Aerith, or I don't think you can get Barret. It's just Tifa or Aerith. And if you don't get Aerith's scene, you don't get this context, but which is crazy because it's super important. Oh, it's after Sector 7 falls. You essentially can meet Aerith there, but it's not really Aerith. She's like communicating to you through the live stream from Shinra HQ. That's what it is. That's why I was trying to figure out when it was. I didn't think it was at that point. Now I'm remembering it. But Aerith at that moment knows pretty much everything that happens in this game, happens after this game, happens before this game. She's essentially connected with herself in the live stream from Advent Children, her Advent Children self, and has all this knowledge. And then when you find her and rescue her in chapter 16, the end of it, the Whispers implicated from here, the Whispers remove all that knowledge from her. That is interesting. The fact that she says, might have known at one point, but it was taken from me. The Whispers took that knowledge from her that she had gained through somehow connecting with herself from the future. That's crazy. Now the other part is they seem got friggin' galaxy brain here, but they just called out the fact that Tifa didn't know that Cloud was there. She didn't think he was there, so how does he know all this stuff? Let's see where this goes. I have no clue where this is going, but it's probably going nowhere good. It's probably not going anywhere good.
Sorry, did I wake you?
Nope. What's going on?
Oh, it's nothing, really. There's just something I need to ask you. So, can we talk?
Sure.
Great, but not here. Follow me.
What is she?
Okay. They seem to be going this route. So this, now you gotta put this in the context of what we've seen so far. So Sephiroth is screwing with Cloud here, saying, you know that I slashed up and potentially killed Tifa because you don't remember what happened after. You blocked it out, so one of the reasons maybe you blocked it out is because you failed to save Tifa and she died, so you essentially blocked that memory out of existence. So you wouldn't remember that you failed and that happened because you failed to stop it. And so you know in your mind, in your heart of hearts, you know that I killed her. So who is this? If I killed her, then who is this Tifa? She isn't the real Tifa. This is getting interesting. That is nuts, man. What the hell? Got Bill Clinton down there on a saxophone or something? That's a woman. That's gotta be intentional. Listen to how disjointed and confused that is. That's gotta be a metaphor for how Cloud feels right now. And how Tifa feels. Damn. Freaking Square, layers upon layers upon layers. And for all honest purposes, how the player feels too, from everybody. Whether you played the game, whether you haven't played the game, you're thinking, what the hell is going on at this point? I don't think this conversation is going to go very well. Yeah, that's me.
Do you think Midgar's over there? Anyway.
There's something I need to ask you too.
Shoot.
That night, 5 years ago, at the reactor, I saw you lying there. Saw your wound and all the blood. I figured it was too late.
Yeah? Wait, what are you implying? That I died? That I'm some kind of imposter?
Interesting.
Can't believe I'm having this conversation with you, but here we are. Here, look. My scar. That proof enough?
I can just imagine
Zangan found me. He's the one who brought me to
a
the
bunch of people like begging the
risked
camera to
his life
swing back
getting me
around.
out of the reactor
Damn
and
it.
down the river.
Square knew what they were
It wasn't
doing.
just him though. There's the doctor who operated on me all night, and the nurses who looked after me
Damn.
for days on end. I'm here now because they were
Okay,
there
yeah,
for me
this
then. And where were
this
you
scene this is
again?
not going the way Cloud wanted it to.
In fact, where have you been this whole time? For 5 years.
You know I can't tell you that.
That was interesting.
Of course you can't.
Cloud, you did a real bang-up job there, Jesus.
Sorry, I just need some space.
Nice going, Cloud. You done fracked it up. So, this is an interesting thing, and it makes sense from both perspectives, but also it's just really interesting. So here's what I'm thinking. So from Tifa's perspective, right? Cloud asks. Cloud asks that, right, question, you know, I thought that you had died, because your wound seemed pretty bad. Tifa replies with that. He doesn't answer because, one, he's technically thinking that because of what Sephiroth just kind of piped into him right there, but at the same time he also doesn't answer because he feels guilty for allowing her to be injured like that. And he's hoping that it isn't true and it's just his memory being faulty or whatever, right? When he doesn't answer, though, Tifa takes it the completely wrong way, and Cloud does not help improve the situation throughout the rest of that scene. Holy shit. Okay, so they actually are going this route. One of the things I had hypothesized was that Sephiroth, having not been able to having the knowledge that he has from having children, Sephiroth knows that just doing what he does between Cloud and Aerith isn't enough to upset the balance of how things are progressed, because one of the reasons why Cloud's able to overcome Sephiroth at the end of the game is because of Tifa. Tifa becomes Cloud's emotional kind of rock at that point. So he's trying to undermine Cloud and Tifa's relationship so that the rebuilding of Cloud's personality, Tifa helping Cloud find himself, rebuild him from himself, correct all of his faulty memories, essentially strip Zack out of his consciousness, doesn't happen. And that would absolutely allow Sephiroth to win, because whole, you know, the reason that Cloud is so jacked up, one of the reasons anyway, is because that the internal conflict, an internal split is there. It allows Sephiroth to gain some level of control over Cloud's mental faculties through Jenova cells, because he's not mentally strong enough to fight off Sephiroth's will.